We're running a little bit behind schedule, so I'm going to go straight into welcoming Frank Curran, the Chief Executive of Wicklow County Council, who is just going to say a few words before introducing our next presenter, Jason Ullrich, and is going to talk about demonstrating the increasing use of drones by local authorities. So over to you, Frank.
Okay, thanks, Nolene. Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay,
we can.
Minister, Chair of NOAC, Michael McCarthy, colleagues. Today's presentation is an example of innovation, creativity and best practice in the civil defence area. The civil defence, of course, continue to be of huge assistance to local authorities and Garda Síochána, the fire service, the Coast Guard and to the entire community. And you'll see here how the civil defence continues to embrace technology, develop as an organisation and develop staff and volunteers. And in my view, it's an example of volunteering and active citizenship at its very best. Certainly here in Wicklow, they've been invaluable in terms of the community called COVID-19 response, being involved in Meals on Wheels, shopping for isolated members of the community, etc. We have 60 volunteers at units located in Greystones, Baltinglass, and a newly created unit in Arklow. And civil defence has the capability to deal with a variety of situations, missing person search, drone operations, which we'll see here, flood response and other weather-related emergencies, swiftwater rescue capabilities. And it supports the community by offering first aid and support at various events, from small community events to larger events, such as the Bray Air Display and Round Ireland Yacht Race. Jason Ullrich is currently our Civil Defence Officer. He's originally from Australia, where he has been engaged in emergency response since 1993, including in the military and civilian areas. He's a career firefighter and has been responsible for developing and running emergency response teams, mines rescue teams within Western Australia. Prior to starting with Wicklow Civil Defence, he was the Superintendent for Emergency Services in Oyo Tolgai in Mongolia. So I'll hand you over to Jason. Thank you, Nolene.
Good morning. Thank you for that, Frank, and thank you for the opportunity to present on and represent both Wicklow County Council and also Civil Defence. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so as Frank pointed out, we're going to be looking at the operation of drones and UAVs within Wicklow. So currently within Civil Defence, there are 20 operational units nationally throughout Ireland. And there's just a quick snapshot of where the units are based. Again, at this stage it's 20, but as we go along, and you'll see this is such an important aspect of supporting emergency services in assisting what they need to get accomplished. So in a snapshot, the craft that we have in service in Wicklow is a Matrice 210, and that's the photo there of the craft that we do have. It is dual gimbal capable. So what that means is, by that photo, you'll notice there's two attachments to the craft, and that's through the dual gimbals. The craft that we're operating here in Wicklow operates a 1x30 optical zoom camera and one thermal imaging camera. Now, these cameras are exceptionally handy and important. This is what makes the craft so good, especially in the use with supporting the fire service and also looking for missing persons. Currently, there's only 2 of these craft in Ireland. The other is operated by the Galway Civil Defence. It is also what we consider an all-weather craft. So a lot of the other aircraft that are being flown at the moment are of the smaller recreational style that have the cameras mounted on them. This here is a more purpose-built type of craft. So it's also a bigger craft, which means in adverse weather with rain or wind, we can still fly this aircraft. The pilots that we have here in Wicklow, so we've got 3 certified drone pilots. They are qualified under the Irish Aviation Authority through their training and their qualifications. This is all run through our technical department, which is based in Phoenix Park. Now, the drone unit, which is based in Wicklow, due to the fact that we've got 1 of 2 aircraft of its type in Ireland, again, it's a national asset. Again, a lot of this is funded through the Department of Defence. So as I said, the aircraft is used here quite regularly, but it is also called upon to assist other counties if they've got certain aspects in place, such as missing persons. The types of operations that we are capable of and often quite tied up with is supporting on Garda Síochána. Again, majority of that the calls from the guards would be for searching for missing persons. We've assisted the fire service with the thermal imaging camera that's based on the aircraft. We can supply thermal mapping of fire grounds and forest fire situational awareness. Again, these are only two small aspects which that can be used by this craft of the fire service. Again, with the thermal mapping of fire grounds, this enables the on-scene commander or the station officer to map where your potential hotspots are. So it gives them the, I suppose, sorry about a memory blank. I suppose it gives them the peace of mind that once they've finished at let's say a gorse fire, we can then map out the hotspots, so they know when they leave that there's no potential of a reignition in that situation. Also, the local authority, the craft can be used to carry out site surveys, area reports after severe weather events and flooding. With some of the newer technology that is coming on board, it will, I know it's being tested at the moment through Phoenix Park. Let's say we've got a severe weather event and we're looking at a potential flooding within the county. The new technology that's being looked at this current stage is we can deploy the drone unit to an area of concern, put the craft up, and then do a live feed of what's being seen on the ground back to the Emergency Management Committee based at the county buildings. And also be used by the Coast Guard, and has been in the past, to assist in the missing persons offshore. Again, the utilising this craft, it also ensures safety for the guys on the ground. So in a nutshell, this year we have been deployed 5 times. Out of those 5 times, 2 of those have been out of county assistance within the civil defence for missing persons, one being Wexford and one being me. So what I've done here is I've just taken a quick snapshot of 2 of the operations that we were involved with and just condensed them. So August 2020, approximately 1840 hours, we received a call from the public through the guards. For us to be activated, it either has to be through the guards or it comes through the technical unit in Phoenix Park if we need to go out of county. This came through, this was probably a different one to what we're used to. Again, as it says here, member of the community phoned in relation to a horse that they were concerned about that had gone missing, and it was believed to be an inaccessible area. We've deployed the drone unit. We did locate the horse. We did try and get the vet to the horse, but where it was determined that we needed to activate the Coast Guard with their vertical rescue team. As you can see by that top photo, that's the rescue team putting their member and the vet down to where the horse was. And if you look at the bottom photo, you'll see that's the thermal imaging. You'll see there's the larger area of heat, which is just below, is how we located the horse. And then the little smudge just above it, that is the vet and the technical rescue officer going in. Again, it enhanced and increased the safety of the guys on the grounds, and it made it very easy to finish the job. Also, it's 10:22. We were out with we assist the Wicklow Fire Service at a gorse fire at Sugarloaf Mountain. Again, where the teams were situated and where the trucks were situated, this gave invaluable. My apologies. It gave the station officer a firm view of the fire grounds. And as you can see, the top part is thermal imagery, and this was requested by the Chief Fire Officer that we could capture some of this and pass it on to them for further training references. So you'll see the majority of the thermal imagery is your gorse fire and the fire ground. Now, be aware, the fire is actually out in this imagery, so you can see the potential of hotspots. And then you'll see just off to the face of that fire, there's 2 or 3 little dots. They're the firefighters. Again, by deploying this technology, we are increasing the safety of people on the ground. So they're just a snapshot of 2 of the operations that we've been involved with this year. I know this has been raised quite a bit in the past within GDPR. As it says here, the data protection impact assessment allows us to identify the risks of GDPR and non-compliance. The way we mitigate our risks here within civil defence is that we have a drone policy. This is across the board nationally within all drone units and is comprised and issued from our technical department in Phoenix Park. So foremost, we do not train in an area where there is a risk to personal image rights, and the pilots do not press the record button unless absolutely essential and is requested by either the officer in charge on the ground, which is myself, or through the requesting agency, as in non-guided share Curran. Now, with that, again, all flights are logged once the aircraft is airborne. This is through its in-flight software. It is also submitted through to our technical department based out of Phoenix Park. At the end of the day, every time that aircraft is used or it does take off, it is logged. Now, with the don't press the record button, again, we're solely utilising the drone as a platform. So it's just giving us a heads-up view and trying to locate, in this sense, a missing person. If we are required to press the record button, that footage will be reviewed on the aircraft returning back to the van, which has the capability of reviewing all the footage. And if it's in the sense of a missing person or we find a deceased person, that is then handed over to the guards or the requesting agency. So then if there is any recordings done, it is handed over to the requesting agency, and then we do not have a copy of it. Now, the exciting thing we're looking forward to now is the future technology plans. Currently, we're in the process of increasing our technical search capability with the acquisition of a Sonar Emilia platform. Put it in a nutshell, this platform will be one of very few in Europe. It'll be the only one of its type in Ireland. The only ones outside of Ireland, there is a swift water rescue craft in England, and there are two Sonar Emilias, one being located in France and the other in the Netherlands, being used by their fire departments. So what is Emilia? Emilia is an emergency integrated life-saving lanyard. So in a nutshell, it's a robotic device used for rescue and recovery. So it operates on battery power and is operated by remote control after being dropped into the water and can be deployed from shore, boat, pier or helicopter. Again, it's a very handy piece of equipment. So Emilia is the platform itself. We're looking at the Sonar Emilia, which will run a side sonar system. It provides high resolution bottom imagery for locating drowning victims, submerged vehicles or sunken boats. Now this technology with the sonar, again, is used by Civil Defence, but this platform is the first of its type. It is developed and produced in America. The exciting thing about this is it can be deployed in such a way that it's a rapid deployment. At the moment, due to the fact that Civil Defence is a voluntary organisation, if we do get a call in and it's urgent, it's up to just how, sometimes it can take a while for the volunteers to get here. Again, we're not a 999 agency, we're a support agency. By having this is quite easily throw it in the vehicle and get it to sea, and it can be operated by one person. Again, I'll put it into context. I suppose from the photo, you can't gather its size. It's 1.27 metres in length and it's 16 kilos. Again, so it's easy enough to deploy by one person. So it can be used manually or autonomously. So manually, it's just like remote control. Autonomously, we go through the data, the software, and we can actually predetermine a map where we want it to search. I suppose it also can be used by unguided share Curran to locate submerged evidence. Again, by utilising this technology, it will remove, I suppose it's a safety aspect. If we were trying to locate a drowning victim in fast flowing water, we're looking at deploying 3 or 4 people in a boat to use manually operated sonar equipment, whereas this mitigates that safety factor where we throw this in the water and it can be used without any hazard or risk to any person being deployed to that water. You'll also notice that on the red cover there are 2 black handles. This can also be used as a life-saving device. So you can shoot this out to a person, remote control, they can grab onto it and it has the power to bring them back. So that's it pretty much in a nutshell from me. I know we're going into questions and I dare say some people have some questions, but look, again, thank you for the opportunity to present and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.